Hey, how's it going, YouTube folks? It's eveRide with another tip video just for you, and this one is a big one. It's how to properly title, tag, and brand your videos to get maximum exposure, especially during that first critical week or so before YouTube starts looking pretty much only at audience retention. And you're going to want to stick around until the very end of this one because I'm going to give you some very specific tips that you can do right now that will grow your channel. So first of all, guys, I'm sorry if this seems a little bit rough. I make some mistakes. I'm not going to edit them. I actually happen to have a massive flu right now. So anyway, get that out of the way. Let's think of it this way when it comes to tagging and things like that. The way you tag and title your video tells YouTube the search terms that people should be able to find your video with. It's like a very first date. You get to know the basics about a person, their name, their interests, how they look. You get to do that with your video. If it does well, with the title and the tags by generating interest and keeping your audience engaged, then YouTube tends to share it around and you get that elusive second date. If people are coming to your video and then bailing right back out, or if nobody comes to your video, then no second date for you or your video, and YouTube will most likely never share it across channels or in any recommended videos, and the traction will be zero. It's kind of like Google's version of the friend zone. If you consistently see that your videos are rarely breaking, like 1/10 of your subscriber count, so if you have 1,000 subscribers and you rarely break 100 views on your videos, or if you have 100 and you barely break 10, then that video has definitely been friend zoned by Google and YouTube. And I can't speak for everybody, but on average, I get about 1/5 of my subscribers to watch a video, any given video that I release. Some people do a lot better, some people do a lot worse, and it depends, it kind of depends on everybody. I think getting 20% of subscribers to watch something is probably pretty good. For me, I think it's great. I know, though, that when more than 1/5 of my audience watches, then I've done something right to get their attention, whether it's subscribers or whether it's organic views. I've done something right to get their attention, and that maybe could be a thumbnail, image, or a title or something like that. How I know that is it's working a little better than average. I'm getting a little bit more than that normal 20% of my subscribers to come take a look. Oh, hold on. Might throw up. Okay, hold on to it. There we go. Not editing this. All right, when I look back at old videos and see no growth, then I know that those videos are friend zoned and YouTube is just storing, it's just acting as a storage medium for them. And YouTube will most likely never suggest those videos. However, some of my older videos continue to grow, and those are the absolute winners in my book. It doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. Continual growth is going to showcase your best videos, whether you think they're your best or not, and bring in subscribers because people will watch them organically, because people continue to find them and watch them because YouTube continues to suggest it to them. So what are the video formats that are tried and true to show continual growth over time in the motovlogging world? These are the types of videos that will get you subscribers, it'll get you views, that'll get you people who trust you and your brand if you have a brand. They're the best ones, okay? And they're the ones that you want to start off growing your audience with, and then add some personality later. You want to have personality on them. Let me continue. For organic views, or views that weren't referred by friends or from your natural subscribers, you're going to have to get very descriptive keywords in your title and tags. In fact, when you're a new channel, I would suggest doing mostly how-to videos and repairs and reviews and that kind of stuff with very, very specific titles. So for example, how to change the oil on a, whatever motorcycle you have. How to clean the carb on whatever motorcycle you have. I would actually appreciate a video on how to clean carb on a DRZ right now. I think my carb might be a little junky. How to clean the air filter on such and such a motorcycle. How to save your oil filter. How to change a tire. How to make a turn. How to power slide, burnout, jump. Land, wheelie, stoppie, or whatever. These are all things that people search for, and there's no doubt about it. Those videos get lots of views. And reviews are also massive. Do a review of your bike with the mods that you've put on it. Do a review of specific mod. Do a review or a how-to on how you modded your bike. Do walkarounds. Now the thing is, all these seem like, oh, no personality, but your personality will shine through if you're not dry during these videos. And you will build your audience naturally that way, with relevant videos that are searchable. I keep talking about that, but really that is the key. If you're small and you want to get bigger, that's the key. Searchable terms that bring in new people to the genre. Anyway, also, when it comes to collaborations with other channels, which we'll go over in another video, when you bring in people who are new with organic subscribers, you're bringing something totally new to the whole community. Most of the motovloggers that found my channel probably found it through a different channel, and I'm sure that a lot of people who found my channel first found a lot of other great motovlogging channels through my channel. So when you bring somebody into your subscription fold, it's not just your subscription fold, you're bringing them into motovlogging, and that's why we're not competing. That's why we're all in this together, and we should all try to help each other out, which is the exact reason why I'm trying to release this video series. Even though it's probably not very awesome for my analytics, I don't really care that much at this point. So anyway, I'm consistently surprised by how many of my friends and subscribers found me not through other channels, but from, old how-to KLR videos. And those continually have a lot of views, along with the gear reviews I've done, along with the bike reviews that I've done. I could work my head off on a professional production, I call them proto-vlogs, and get, a few views, or I can do a bit of research and provide some good feedback on a product and get far more views, and people find them a lot more useful. So I'm not saying that quality is not important, or personality is not important, but sometimes professional, productions, they don't stack up. Now, then again, sometimes they do go viral and they massively pay off. But for consistent views and subscribers, easily searchable topics like how-tos and reviews will be consistent winners. Look out there for other videos. There's probably dozens of oil change videos for your bike. What about solving a specific problem? That is a good way to become an authority on YouTube. Even though I have no idea how to do it, I posted a video on how to fix something on the KLR, an oil leak sprocket or whatever. And it got a lot of views and it got a lot of subscribers because people were like, oh, he knows how to fix KLRs. In the video I say I don't, but anyway, I digress. Just make sure to balance your content. Use searchable terms to get attention from organic viewers, then use professional content and vlogs with personality to convince them that you're worth subscribing, that there's more than just, this is an informative video. Okay, now on to thumbnail images and titles. Now these both can be double-edged swords. Thumbnails can bring in tons and tons of people, but they can also bring the wrath of the YouTube vicious robots and the YouTube vicious trolls in droves. Even trolls that were never previously trolls. For example, and it's happened to us all, how did you feel the last time you clicked on a thumbnail image that actually had nothing to do with the video? Did you feel ripped off or scammed? How about a title that was totally misleading? Say you clicked on a how-to or a review, and it tried to redirect you to a person's website to get the, quote, full review. I don't know about you, but when a video does that to me, I get in rage mode. I freaking Hulk on the thing. I want to punch stuff in the face, and more than likely, I don't make a dirty comment or anything like that because I know that helps. Usually I don't even dislike the video because I know that helps too. But what I do to try to hurt their video is I leave as early as possible. And if enough people are doing that, then it will hurt the video and it will hurt the channel. So I hope the people that do that, I hope their videos kind of fall into oblivion because nobody wants to waste their time on that. And Google and YouTube know that. So anyway, the gist of the whole story that I just told, it's to use appropriate thumbnails and titles. Like I said in a previous video in the tip series, if you have a 50-minute motovlog and a crash in the middle, nothing is going to kindle the hatred of the YouTube's fire, like calling that video, motorcycle crash, and then making people scrub through 50 minutes of footage to find it. Get this. Posting a thumbnail of a Victoria's Secret angel and then not actually having the Victoria's Secret angel in your video will probably make people upset. You're probably attracting the totally wrong kind of audience Also, you might get 1 million views, but remember, the old days of YouTube are over. It's not about views, it's all about audience retention. The days of tricking YouTube into thinking your video is successful because it has 1 million views, those days are done. When people stick around because you post relevant content that matches the tags and the titles and even the thumbnail, that will always get the best results now. So you want to be honest. Now, thumbnails, like titles, will work to bring people to your videos. Forever. Forever. As long as YouTube still ranks your video as relevant to the search terms. Thumbnails are more visually appealing and pull people in. YouTube, I don't know if they have an algorithm that looks at thumbnail images, but when somebody finishes the video or is browsing through the recommended videos, you want your thumbnail to really, really pop, because you're probably competing with thumbnails with Hooties and Victoria's Secret Angels and what's her name, the Kate Upton and fail compilations, and I just can't stress how massively important the thumbnail is, because you're competing with a lot. And that's one great way to bring in organic people and to bring in your subscribers. If you post stuff with dull thumbnails like I always do in this series, I don't know why, just lazy. But then, people are just kind of like, oh, that's another riding video. If I posted a thumbnail of, going off a cliff, then people are like, oh, that looks interesting. It's just natural. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. But anyway, I always try to keep my thumbnails honest. And I usually think of the coolest part of my video, or maybe the most interesting thing that happened, or a fantastic picture that Mr. Goat-Cabeza snapped while we were out there riding, and I'll use that. And here's a cool thing: if the coolest bit is part of a video, then here's what I do. Now, before we get into that, as you know, YouTube truncates or shortens the titles of videos in most previews, so you need to get a captivating picture that represents your video well, and throw your title on that thumbnail, and then brand it and let it go and do all that. And this takes a lot of time, but it is well worth the effort. I don't know why I don't do it all the time. Again, I'm lazy. So here's a simple way to make a custom thumbnail. Watch your raw video in full screen. And when you get to a part that you love, or just a cool shot that you got with your camera or whatever, pause the video, and then you hit the print screen button, okay? And then you open up the Microsoft Paint or whatever Mac has. I hate Mac, but open up Microsoft Paint and then paste it. Right-click and press paste, or just press Control-V and it'll paste it. Then you can add in some eye-popping title text, save it as a JPEG, and upload it as your custom thumbnail. I'm not going to get into that too detailed because there's tons and tons of tutorials out there. Just search for it. If you have Photoshop or a better photo editor, then you can get a little bit more complex. But however you do it, don't be like me and just post the video with a default thumbnail. I haven't done it once on this series, and it shows. But I do it on some other ones, and it pans out quite well. And usually the ones that do pan out the very best are ones where I do capture an interesting shot from the cameras that I'm using. So it really is, a piece of footage from the camera with some title overlaid on it. It's really nice. So anyway, now for the title, not the title overlay on the thumbnail image, but the actual title. You want your title to contain as many keywords as possible that relate to your video without sounding phony. Now here's a warning to smaller channels. You probably can't get by with creative titles like Jungle Man or Flying High, or really kind of generic, ambiguous things like that. Sure, those might be good titles, but nobody will be searching for that specifically, and unless your video is viral gold, it's probably not going to get, recommended across channels. Now, then again, if you're just spamming keywords in the title, YouTube knows. They're smart. Google's been doing this thing for a long time, and they're gonna know, and they're gonna rank your video down because you're spamming keywords. But if you use just kind of the right amount, if you title it something that's human, like for example, instead of saying like DRZ 400 space DRZ no space 400 space, DR space Z 400 walk around. I don't know. If you're spamming that keyword, you know what I'm talking about. This is going to be long if I don't edit, but anyway. All right, so to keep it short, there are some pretty advanced tricks to titling and tagging your video to get the very most views. And my new internet buddy, who actually lives kind of close to me, his name's Daryl Eves, has a crazy awesome video about this, and you can find a link in the description. And in fact, if you're interested in this analytics stuff, go watch his videos, starting with the one in the link. He is the genius behind like the Piano Guys and a few other, really wildly successful YouTube channels. Tell him that I sent you, and then follow his advice to the letter. And I'm sure that if enough people tell him that I sent you over, maybe he'll take me to lunch or something and give me the real inside scoop. My guess is that the real inside scoop is, stop making moto vlogs and do something that actually gets some views. So, anyway, something that I have done, and here is a screenshot, is in my default settings, I have put as my default description some of Daryl's tips on tagging, titling, and other goodness from that video that I linked you to. Here they are. They are great tips right out of Daryl's video, and I'm posting the text on my Facebook page so you can actually just go and copy and paste it right into your default description section. And you can get your default description settings by clicking the little gear next to upload, then dashboard, then on the left side of the screen, clicking channel settings, then clicking defaults. And while you're in there, play with these settings and you can save a lot of time every time you upload. So you're not just repeating every, tag that you do. Anyway, here's what I post to remind myself to do. It doesn't mean I always do that in every video, just like I don't always put a lot of, do a lot of my tips because I can be flat out lazy, but here it is. The first thing, finding the right title. And this is getting advanced, but if you go to this link, adwords.google.com/keyword planner, then you can literally find out what people are searching for. It's pretty incredible. And then you can title your video what people are searching for. You can actually use this to plan vlog topics. I know that seems really robotic and kind of soulless, but if you want to grow and if you want people to find your stuff, you can find topics that people are interested in and vlog about them, and you'll get more views. It's statistics. It's statistics. Anyway, the next thing is choosing the right tags. Now here's the order that Daryl puts his in his video. He puts in specific tags, which are very specific tags to the thing, like for example, like DRZ400. And then the next one, his next category of tags is compound tag titles. So, for example, the whole title of your video, and then other compound tags like DRZ400 Dual Sport, all in one tag, and then generic tags like motorcycle or helmet or whatever. And then he does misspellings, which is really cool. So instead of writing Suzuki, you could write Sukuzi, and hopefully some of the silly people out there who misspell things will find your video instead of others because of the misspellings. Then there are the description text reminders. Now this is what you're going to replace the description text in, obviously. Calls to action come first. So a link to your Facebook page, a link to, any other motovlogs you might be featuring, anything like that. And then what he says next is you kind of want to make it like a blog post. You want your text to be interesting and relevant. And then here are some other reminders that he gives. You want to transcribe the video. For example, in this video, I've written the whole thing out, except for some of the times when I got off topic. And so I will put that in my transcription service, and then that really helps Google to find out exactly what this video is all about. And then you want to edit your thumbnail, like I talked about earlier, and then at the end of the video, you want to create subscribe annotations where you've put subscribe in your video. Well, so there you have it, people. From Daryl's mouth to my ears, and from my ears to my mouth to your ears. Now remember, tags only really count for the first week, but they are that first date with those pesky and omnipotent YouTube robots, and they should impress them, or you're not going to get anywhere. So thanks so much for watching, folks, and hopefully these tips really helped out. If so, go ahead and hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe for more tips and adventures. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to the bathroom to finish off this flu with a vengeance.